Hello guys, Inslayerclone here, friendly neighborhood cell, whatever. And I think this is going to be my last video on this channel, YouTube channel. Just the other one I uploaded. I should upload it, I've not uploaded yet. But yeah, I think this is going to be my last video on the Inslayerclone. For now anyway. I probably might be back when I have something in my mind and stuff like that. But there won't be any further posts on Inslayerclone because of how YouTube is in 2025, and me personally being more interested in playing, like doing let's plays videos and stuff like that when I was like and stuff. I myself I did do an entire let's play of Black Ops 2 in 2025, and that was pretty fun, I guess, and on my second channel, Inslayerclone Let's Plays, you know and I'm playing other games like Ratchet and Clank, the entire Ratchet and Clank 1 to Ratchet and Clank from the PS2 era, and I'm also playing this other games, indie games as well. So yeah, I mean, for me and stuff, I'm pretty much. I think I've come to the conclusion that this channel doesn't really fit me anymore. It doesn't really. And plus, I mean, I've already annihilated. I've already atomic bombed this channel in 2024 with the strikes and stuff like that. So, not saying, like I said, I'm not giving up on YouTube or whatever. I'm definitely not giving up. I just said this retirement, from Inslayerclone, whatever. You know, I think it's pretty safe that I can upload now and stuff. I mean, I waited about this time. I mean, I was gonna upload it last week, but waited this time and stuff just to check if any more strikes come about. There hasn't been any strikes, so I guess I'm pretty safe right now. So anyway, what do I want to talk about today? Since I do believe this is. I'm probably gonna repeat myself and stuff, you know. But I do believe every person that's existing in 20 that's an existing entity now in 2025 are their own worst enemy, you know. So I explain this reason why. So I myself, I've learned from my own mistakes, my own past. I've been journaling for about a year now, actually. In July it'll be a year. So I've been journaling about my entire life from July 2024 to pretty much June 2025 now. I'm still probably going to continue once my birthday starts and stuff. My target was to do journaling in 2 weeks, so I did it every 2 weeks, and it became 1 week, and it just became routine and stuff to do it every week, to journal about my life every week, you know, see what was in my mind, what things that I have from my past and something. What did I do this week? It could be even anything. I just sit in a coffee shop, you know, and stuff like that. That's it. I don't even need to talk about anything else. I just sit in a coffee shop for an hour this week, you know. After I started to investigate who I am and what are the problems in my previous past life, and now I start to pinpoint the problems that I have. And I didn't need to. I mean, I did went to like therapy, so I'm not saying therapy wasn't bad. I guess. I guess I kind of. Well, I mean, I don't know if therapy helped out. I mean, I did talk about some stuff in my personal life and how I became like this, but I didn't think they didn't really give me the tools. I mean, they gave me the tools that I already know what to do, but it didn't really solve anything until when I started to journal about when I started to really start to journal, when I started doing journaling and everything about my life, when I took journaling a bit more seriously and stuff. I did it every Sunday, you know. So understanding how my perspective on my life is, then I started to look at my other people might have treated me wrong, and and other people as well, my family people and friends and whatever, past friends and stuff like that. I don't really talk to anymore, you know. I guess, I guess it's some form of closure. I guess. You know, I mean, I gotta admit, I still haven't completely fully cut my past stuff yet, and I know what I need to do and stuff. I don't really think I'm just, like I said, it's that term, it's that mindset of you know, you have like this nostalgic feeling of these people, or maybe boyfriend, girlfriend. I don't know. I mean, I never had a girlfriend per se, but you know, you have a nostalgic factor, isn't it? Nostalgicism. I think Darkser talked about this. I actually watched a video about nostalgia can be like cancer and stuff like that. He talked about this and stuff like that. But yeah, we have like, you know, stuff, and that's the reason why I feel like a lot of people, particularly in the modern world and stuff, could be in the past as well. I'm not saying people didn't have this factor in the past, but in the modern world it's so pervasive because we have like, you know, photos and stuff like that. You know, we have like footage, you know, found video recordings and stuff in like, you know, like 1800s, 1700s. They didn't have footage, like video footage of things. They only had stories, right? And some people knew how to write their stories. They write down on a piece of paper, and that's how. And you just have to imagine the entire how everything played out, you know. But nowadays, since we have like video footage, you have like actual game footage and stuff like that, and stuff, you know. So you don't need to imagine anymore, you know, about our past and stuff. We have it we can access it by via photo evidence, you know, and and videos and stuff, and that's not very good. You know, I mean, it's good in the way that we can look to the past as it is, but I do believe, like I said, many of these footage and stuff like this, videos like you see like in World War II, maybe like in like Victory Day and stuff, where you have American soldiers parading in France or whatever, or like, you know, when JFK or whatever, you know, we don't even know what the truth is, because we, as most people in 2025, I'm pretty sure most people weren't alive when those things were happening. They weren't even born, or there probably was a child when this rocket ships went up in space, or whatever. You know, so I don't really know what it is. All I know is the story and stuff, and maybe the story has video footage back up, you know, and stuff like that. So that is one factor why how people enslave themselves in some form, you know, imprison themselves. The other factor is that, you know, is that when there's someone say, "Oh, I want to be like a carpenter," right? I want to be a model, or I want to be a game developer, or I want to be an artist or scientist, right? It's good to say I want to be that, but doing the actions and start actually studying science, studying art, or studying game dev, that's going to take time out of your day, you know. It's not going to be like, oh well, you know, it would be nice now to, you know, make art, you know, but instead of doing it, you know, I mean, how I know this well, particularly, I want to put my dad on blast. I really do like my dad, you know, but he was talking about, oh, I want to be a farmer in the garden or whatever. So for his birthday, I did go in the book, you know, his birthday was like 2 weeks ago, and he still hasn't read the book, you know, he still puts on there, so it's like, he pretty much says, well, you know, I'm not saying you have to learn everything, top to bottom, and stuff, but just like, you know, reading one page of it, you know, starting getting the ball rolling, right? Because you say that's what you really want to do, but you don't do it, you don't even attempt it, and that's the problem with a lot of people. And it's not my dad's me as well. I mean, I have like this Raspberry Pi computer. I had it for about 3 months now. Still haven't using it. I actually started doing the research, and now I'm gonna how I'm gonna install the software and all that, install everything, and start actually using this thing and stuff like that. You know. So this is what I've learned in my 25 years of life, I guess. You know, that a lot of people are their own worst enemy, right? We are ruminating about things in our past. I'm not saying these are valid reasons and stuff to not ruminate and stuff like that. Maybe he was and stuff like that. Maybe he was treated badly by other people. Maybe he was you know, I don't want to get into the topics, you know, but you know what I mean, like, you know, bad childhood or whatever. Maybe something traumatic happened in childhood, whatever. You can't really get over it. But at the end of the day and stuff, I feel like these are all excuses and stuff. I'm not saying it isn't valid excuse and stuff, but you know, as we look in history and stuff, I'm pretty sure a lot of people in like medieval England or in medieval Europe and all across the world in that times and stuff were badly mistreated, but they still had to go to work. They still had to do what they need to do to survive. I'm pretty sure the women in medieval England were badly mistreated as well. But they said they just drank the cup of tea, whatever tea was back then, and just power through it, I guess. You know? But nowadays, everyone making excuses about something that bad happened. Some male did this to them, or female did this to them, or like, you know, whatever it is and stuff. And now they just drop everything, you know, drop their entire existence, drop their entire goal or their entire vision in life, you know, or they use drug and alcoholism, you know, to like cope. I mean, there's one channel I watch. It's called Brit Point, wherever. It's like many of these like young graduates and stuff. Like this guy clips all these young graduates. He's making quite a lot of money, I think, on his channel. But it's like these like young Brits, probably graduates, some probably not graduates, but they always complain about, oh no, England's so boring and stuff. It's the cost of living and stuff. I'm not saying there is a massive problem in England, in Britain right now, in England, whatever. Right, cost of living crisis and stuff like that and stuff. But it's no bad just complaining about it, or they're on TikTok and stuff, you know. Right? I mean, this university system's not. They didn't really care. They just wanted their money at the end of the day. That's what it is, you know. They don't really care what ends up with you. They're saying they might care, you know, but at the end of the day and stuff, it's all one big parade so they can get more investors involved, you know. That's what it is, right? It's up to you what you decide to do, you know. Decide to do. You always have to be 10 steps ahead, you know, in the game, you know, because that's what it is. It's one big hurry for match, you know. That's what life is, you know. There's one big hurry for match, one big Final Fantasy game, you know, right? One big chessboard and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure if you guys don't play Hurry 4 and stuff, Hearts and Irons 4, which is a game on the computer, it's a PC game from 2016, right? Even like the most weakest countries can still defeat the largest empires. It's just that it's the player, I guess. It's how do you play the game? It's how you actually play the game. Actually, it's not even that. I'm not saying like, of course, Hearts and Iron 4 isn't real life. I mean, you know, but yeah, I mean, it's all really about what cards are you dealt with. Like I said, if you're playing as Haiti and stuff like that, you're probably going to be defeated if you go against the US. But however and stuff, you can see what the cards you're playing with Haiti and stuff like that, and how Haiti's economy is and stuff. Like for me and stuff, I like playing as the weaker countries, because the weak countries and stuff like that are much more difficult to actually achieve supremacy in the sea, naval supremacy or air supremacy and stuff like that. So when I achieve air supremacy in those weak countries, like with Haiti and stuff like that, took all of the Central America and stuff, I feel a sense of greatness in myself, because I managed to figure it out to do all of this, you know. And that's what I mean, like life itself is one big Hearts and Iron match, you know. I mean, people are talking about, you know, like, you know, I was watching this video and stuff, people talking about Ukraine, you know, taking out, you know, Russian bombers and stuff like that, using like, you know, methods and stuff like that. I mean, that right there, you know, Ukraine doesn't have all the cards, but they use their cards at their advantages and stuff, right? What is their advantage? Well, they've got a lot of drones and stuff. We're going to use the drones to take down things and stuff like that, you know. No, the whole purpose of this video and stuff, I mean, people are capable of a lot of things that they can't imagine, but they choose to imprison themselves, you know. A lot of people choose to imprison themselves. That's what I seen, you know. They'll watch, you know, Sabrina Carpenter's dancing on the stage and stuff, or like, you know, what's his name, Joel from Last of Us, Pedro Pascal and stuff, you know, instead of instead of them seeing themselves as Sabrina Carpenter or Pedro Pascal, or like Steve Evans or whatever his name is, or, you know, Harry Kane from England football match, you know, England's football club or whatever, you know, football team. They don't see themselves like that. They see themselves as like a character, you know. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. If you really enjoy doing that, I mean, go ahead, I guess. But, you know, your mind is really the enemy here, right? Just like you see in the video game American McVie Alice, you know, from 2000s, right? As you know, Alice, you know, was fighting a war against herself, you know. There's two personalities. You got that regular Alice that has her mind, then you got the evil queen, which is Alice, the evil Alice and stuff, and she was fighting amongst herself. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? You have to conquer your own mind and stuff, and once you conquer your own mind, you're free to do whatever you want, you know. And that's what you have to do, you know. Your own mind is holding you back to become a great individual, you know, and that's what you need to learn. The school system's not going to teach you that. The school system say, oh no, everyone's equal and all that, and everyone's achieving great things, but that's not don't tell you the truth when actually society is corrupted, you know, top to bottom. Everything's rigged, you know. The school system is rigged. Everything's rigged, you know. It's either you're born into wealth or not born into wealth, you know. You have some people working very hard, every day they're working very hard, but they only get the scraps of the society. They think they're good people, but they're not really good people. They're not really thinking at all, because they want a nation of workers. They don't want a nation of thinkers and stuff stuff like that. So they just want people to work, and when they do need to relax, the Netflix is there, you know. White Lotus is on television. Adolescence is on television, you know. Go watch that for a couple hours, then go back to working, you know. That's what it is. That's what it is about, man, you know. So what's the final conclusion of this video and stuff, what I'm trying to get towards? Well, every single man and woman around the world is corrupted, top to bottom, you know. I don't want to hear, oh no, these people are corrupted in Europe or Asia or Africa or Latin America. No, everyone's corrupted, right? Every single person, even children and even babies are corrupted. Everyone is, right? And once you recognize that, it's time to start really seriously start to think about your entire life beginning. And you know what? I was watching, like, you know, The Prisoners, right? And the Banged Up Abroad, you know, the show, right? And the funny thing is, you know, many of these people that get arrested overseas and stuff like that, smuggling, you know, cocaine and all that, once they go in the prison system, they start to really think about their entire life, top to bottom, and they start to realise and stuff that they are the problem, you know. I mean, I'm not saying, of course, they were doing something bad, of course, maybe they were smuggling and stuff. I mean, it's like, I think Mexican women and stuff. So it's like Mexican women and stuff in the show and stuff like that. She was smuggling drugs from from Bangladesh to America, I think. And this is like in the 90s and stuff like that. And she did get caught, and she was going to be sentenced a death penalty, you know. But I think the accomplice, I don't know, the guy is the Nigerian guy, I don't know his name. I don't know if he's Nigerian, sounds like it. I know that's a bit not nice to say, but I think he was Nigerian, stuff like that in the show anyway. But yeah, she gets 30 years in prison, and she was pretty much grieving that she lost the entire youth now, you know, because she was only like early 20s, I think, when she decided, I need some money, you know, to live the lifestyle, so I'm just going to get this package from Bangladesh and stuff like that, and I'm going to take it to America and stuff. She did back out eventually, but then the guy came and stuff, so, you know. So yeah, she spent like 4 years in the jail cell in Bangladesh, and in those 4 years she decided, well, I mean, I might as well make use of the time I'm here and stuff, and so I learned the Bengali language and stuff. And she did get out. I mean, the senator one of the American senators got her out and stuff, and now she works for NASA now. So, you know, we need to really seriously start to understand that our minds are our own worst enemy. That most people are in prison themselves, and this is why I really like the show. I mean, one woman, this British woman, she decided to do the same thing. She was actually working in the hospital and stuff. Decided, I need some money because I'm in debt, because I've been smoking, I've been using cocaine for a bit. So decided, I'm going to go to Argentina, Peru, whatever, try and get some cocaine back in England, and she got caught up in Argentina and stuff. And well, she didn't go to jail and stuff, didn't go into the prison cell. She was like on bond and stuff because the sister over there didn't want her to, the Argentina taxes, didn't want to pay for her and stuff like that. So the Argentinians and stuff kind of messed up on that part and stuff. Instead of putting her into jail and using the taxpayer system to put in jail, but they wanted to save some money, so they allowed her to go back to her hotel room or whatever. And that's how she managed to escape. Well, she didn't want to escape. She was gonna actually do whatever, stuff, but she missed out, and the police were coming into the house. But since she was in the other room and stuff with the other tourists and stuff, the tourists managed to get the map and make her escape the country and stuff. Well, they didn't help her escape the country. Just gave her the tours and stuff, like the map and stuff like that. Maybe a couple of money and stuff like that to fled the country and stuff. And that's what she did, to go to the border of Mexico and stuff. Swim the river and stuff, and went to Brazil and stuff. And she got a new passport, and boom, like that, in England again. But then after 2 years and stuff, they actually caught her, in England. So she spent about 2 years being free and stuff. Then all this court case, I think it's online already. I don't need to explain the court details and stuff like that. It's actually a news article and stuff like that, and this person and stuff. But what I'm trying to say to guys, that the people in prison and stuff know this very well, that they are the problem. Not only they are the problem, but their minds are the problem. Most people don't realize they're in prison. They may not be in literally jail, saying in the building and stuff, but they are in prison in some form, because they are prison in their own body. They're in prison in all these things that they don't really need and stuff. I'm gonna watch White Lotus because, well, that's what everyone else is watching and stuff. That's what the media wants me to watch. I'm gonna watch Last of Us series television show, or I'm gonna watch Ironheart, that new one, that I've seen posters on the billboards and stuff like that. I don't really care about all the stuff, I don't care about Ironheart. I did watch the Last of Us show because, well, it's the Last of Us, and I do like, I don't really like the Last of Us, I'll say. It's Last of Us is very overrated, but I do like Joel and stuff from the games and stuff, so I may as well see what's the difference between it. But if it was a totally different, I wouldn't care about it. If it was the end of Us, so I say I wouldn't watch that show whatsoever. I don't need mainstream media. So yeah, that's all we really gotta say, guys. I think I've hammered in the message as much as possible in this video and stuff. And like I said, some people are different. Me personally, I don't really need much friends and stuff like that. Some people need a lot of friends. They need a lot of social interaction because they've been going like that. But people like me, that have been pretty much living like this lifestyle for many years now, I don't really need that much social interaction, because this is how I've been living my life. So it's easy said than done, I guess. All I'm trying to say, guys, try and do your best, in life. Do whatever you need to do your best. I don't know who's watching this video. Probably no one's watching this video. I know I have 160 subscribers, but probably no one's even watching this video. But all you have to do is just do your best. don't need to worry about, oh, I got this grade and stuff. Got this, I don't get this job title. Oh, I'm in financially destitute, debt. Well, you know, just do your best, mate. You know, because at the end of the day, so if you're chasing a lifestyle that really doesn't exist, I mean, when you look, I mean, there's the other thing as well. I was watching. I mean, I've been watching a lot of like stuff, but look at all the models and stuff from the '90s and stuff, like the supermodels and stuff, like Kate Moss and all the other Dutchman. This other Dutchman, I can't remember her name. I think it was whatever her name is and stuff. All these people like they're either on drugs and stuff like that. They've gone mentally ill and stuff like that. All these, it's all one big, prison. Yeah, they might be enjoying life now, but next 10 years and stuff, they're going to be suffering, So, and that's what it's all about, And all I'm trying to say that don't really take it all seriously, mate, because at the end of the day, you're gonna lose things and stuff. You're gonna lose friends. You're gonna lose everything. In fact, you're probably gonna lose your house. Right, let's just say war starts and stuff. Bombs start dropping on your house or your city and stuff. Well, if you lost a city, well, it is what it is, Just have to get with it and move on. I know it's going to feel painful, but, it is what it is, I mean, look at Gaza and stuff, look at Ukraine, look at parts of, Ukraine. They've lost many people and buildings and stuff like that, and towns and cities, well, just have to get with it and stuff and start fresh, I guess. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and let me know what you think about it. Like I said, this is not probably going to be my last video for about a while now. I'm not sure if I'll come back yet, but when I do have something really on my mind, I guess I will come back and make another video. But as of right now, I'd have nothing else to talk about, only this. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I guess enjoy your life as it is. Whatever it is you want to do, just do it, right? If you just even open up the freaking, if it's just you draw a circle, that's a first step to getting where you need to get towards. So anyway, goodbye.